Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you my WWE Raw review for July 13th, 2015. I haven't really been on this video this weekend because I was busy. I was busy hanging out with my boy Isaiah and Adam. So I was really busy doing other things. So I'm going to try to get some videos up that I want to get up for you guys this week. But I'm going to work on that. And yeah, uh, but starting with Raw. So we had JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show. And the show kicks right off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. They come out to cut a promo, and Brock Lesnar talks about how no, Paul Heyman cuts a promo talking about how he's the conqueror. He took out J&J Securities, which is Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury's Cadillac, and they took out J&J Security themselves. And Paul Heyman cuts this promo talking about how anytime Brock Lesnar is the challenger going into a championship match, whether it's WWE or UFC, um, he takes everybody out. He destroys them. Um, and he says that Brock Lesnar's a destroyer, and he is going to destroy Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to enter Suplex City, which I thought was a nice touch, and that was about it. I really liked Paul Heyman's promo; it was really good. And then Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane come out, and Seth Rollins says that, and the Cadillac out there was out there too, says that you claim that that Cadillac is that all smashed up is a resemblance of me. Well, you could think that, but I'm going to beat you because at WrestleMania, um, I took you out and became the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And he cuts this promo on him. And then Corporate Kane announces that Brock Lesnar says that he'll take him to Suplex City tonight, bitch. And then Corporate Kane says that there's going to be a contract signing between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. And if Brock Lesnar does anything to cause chaos, but before he can finish, Paul Heyman says, "Is the Undertaker's baby brother really threatening my client?" Which I loved that line. I thought it was awesome. He talks about how Brock Lesnar conquered Kane's Undertaker's streak. Then he says that you should you he said you can bring all your threats that you want, but we will be at the contract signing tonight. And that was about it. I thought it was a really good promo, and yeah, I thought this was a good opening segment. So then the first match on the show is Ryback and Randy Orton versus Sheamus and Big Show. They hyped this up like this was a Premier Superstars tag team match, and they even said it was a main event tag team match, which was weird because it was the first match on the show, so I thought that was weird. But we had The Miz on commentary for this match. I liked this match, though. I thought it was a good opening match. Right off the bat, Ryback hit a sick dive right onto Sheamus. And I'm not kidding, Ryback hit a dive in this match. I thought that was awesome. And I thought that was really cool. And the faces dominate Sheamus for a while. Randy Orton hits a back suplex on the Sheamus into the barricade. And I forgot to mention they announced tonight that it's going to be Randy Orton versus Sheamus at Battleground, which is this Sunday. And Randy Orton, and they beat the crap out of Sheamus, and then Sheamus hits a knee to the gut on Orton, and Randy Orton was acting really weird in this match. He's so out of it, he acts like he's about to punch a fan, which I thought was weird. And then the heels get the heat on Randy Orton. Big Show crushes Randy Orton. And Big Show goes for a choke slam. Orton counters into a DDT. And then Randy Orton gets the hot tag on Ryback. And Ryback starts hitting all this shit on Sheamus. And then eventually Ryback's going for the meat hook clothesline. But then the Miz gets on a microphone and it says, "Ryback, stop hitting the clown. Just hit your finish, man." And then Sheamus tries to win with the roll up, but Ryback kicks out. Then he hits the meat hook clothesline. He goes to attack Big Show, but Big Show attacks him, and Miz starts talking trash to Big Show, and Big Show knocks out Ryback, and then Big Show chases Miz out of the ring, and then Randy Orton hits an RKO on Sheamus, and Ryback gets a splash off the top rope for the win, and that was the end of the match. But I thought it was a good tag team match, and I liked the way they built up these feuds. But Randy Orton acted really weird in this match, though. And yeah, I thought it was good. So then Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane are backstage, and Seth Rollins is worried about how this whole contract signing thing's gonna go. He doesn't really want to call out Brock Lesnar again after what happened with the whole with last week when he destroyed the Cadillac. And Kane says that he has a plan, but one of us is going to be taken out, or this might get taken out during this plan. And Seth Rollins says that if this plan doesn't work, it's all on you. Um, then we get Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. The match doesn't happen. Bray Wyatt does his entrance, and then he blows out his lantern, and then Roman Reigns is standing right behind him. He starts attacking Bray Wyatt, beats the shit out of him, throws him into the barricade, throws him into the steel post. He tries to clothesline him over the barricade, but it didn't work. And he hits the apron drop kick on him. Then Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch on Wyatt. Then Reigns tries to go after him again, but Wyatt hits him off the head with his lantern, which Reigns no sold, which I thought was weird. And then that was it. I thought this attack was pretty good though, and good brawl. This is one of my favorite things they did to build up this feud. And I'm gonna talk about what I think about Bray Wyatt in a video this week. Now the next segment was awesome. So Team Bella, which consists of the Bella twins, Nikki and Brie, and Alicia Fox. And Nikki Bella's talking about how she's been a dominant Divas champion. She took the title at Survivor Series, but she says like the actual date when the show happened. And she talks about how she's taken all of her opponents out. She's given multiple divas an opportunity at the Divas Championship. And she talks about how she's the most dominant diva in the Divas division, just pretty much says that she's all that. And then Stephanie McMahon comes out, which I thought was weird because she was acting like a face when she's supposed to be a heel. And she talks about how people all over the world taking standing up and taking a stand to sports like soccer, UFC, and tennis. I probably only have an interest of one of two of those sports. And she says that they want to do the same thing in the WWE. So she brings Paige out, and Stephanie McMahon talks about how Paige, she's beaten her so many times, she's trying to start this revolution, but she's failed. And Stephanie McMahon says that, and Stephanie McMahon even had talked about too, how she is the most dominant diva in WWE in this promo. And she says, well, Paige isn't doing this alone, she has some backup. And who comes out? None other than Becky Lynch and Charlotte. That was fucking awesome. And you think there's going to be like this fight. And then Naomi... Oh, my Facebook just went off, which is weird because... I'll answer that in a second. Let me just mute my laptop so that way. Okay. So, but yeah, Naomi and Tamina Snuka come out and talk about how they still have a score to settle with Team Bella, and they also have a score to settle with Paige, and they feel like that they've been denied opportunities for the Divas Championship, so they want some. And Stephanie McMahon says, "Well, yeah, but you guys are good, but you're not you're not like a boss." And then she brings out the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. She comes out, which was awesome. And everybody's standing inside with each other. It's Sasha, Tamina, and Naomi, Paige, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte, and Team Bella are all just standing next to each other. And the Team Bella gets in between Paige's team and Sasha Banks' team. And Nikki Bella shoves right into Sasha Banks, and it starts this big brawl. Everybody just starts fighting with each other, which I thought was awesome. And Naomi takes out Charlotte. Paige gets the PTO, I think it's called, onto Naomi. Tamina Snuka takes out Paige. And then Becky Lynch takes out. Everyone just starts fighting, and eventually it leads to Charlotte getting the figure 8 in on Becky Lynch. No, on Alicia Fox. So Charlotte got the figure 8 on Alicia Fox. Becky Lynch got the armbar in on Brie, and Sasha Banks put the bank statement in on Nikki Bella, which I thought was awesome. And they just hold these moves in for a while, and I thought that was awesome that the NXT women wrestlers were standing tall with this. I thought that was awesome. And then everybody just stands tall, and then it plays the Total Divas theme song, which I thought was weird. So this is awesome. This was one of my favorite women's segments in a while. I hope they don't you know, and this was just awesome. And these NXT Takeover shows are legit now because NXT is taking over. You have guys coming up from NXT that are just taking over, and I think it's awesome. I thought this whole segment kicked so much ass. And then the next match, we get the New Day, which consists of Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. And then when Xavier Woods' hometown, Atlanta, Georgia, and Big E, they put down Atlanta, talking about how the basketball team didn't win the All Star game. I don't remember the basketball team because I don't watch basketball. And they talk about how they shut down the entire town just because they were going to get 1 inch of snow. And yeah, I don't like the New Day, but I thought that was kind of good stuff. And they wrestle the primetime players, which consist of Titus O'Neil and Daniel Young, the tag team champions, and Mark Henry. I like this match. I thought it was I thought it was actually a pretty good match. The heels dominate Titus O'Neil for a while, and they hit this awesome sequence where Kofi and Xavier Woods both hit kicks on Titus O'Neil, and then Big E hits a wicked splash on him. I thought that was a sick spot. Then eventually, Mark Henry got the hot tag in on Xavier Woods. He started going off on him. Then eventually, he goes to pin him, but then the New Day breaks it up, and then Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise on Darren Young. And now a bunch of chaos starts to happen, and Mark Henry beats Xavier Woods with the World's Strongest Slam. And then that was the end of the match. But this actually was a pretty good six-man tag team match here. And it was a decent way to build up the tag team title match between the Primetime Players and the New Day. And yeah, I thought it was good. Then we get Ken Barrett versus R-Truth. It was okay, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. R-Truth wins with the little Jimmy, or the pay dirt, whatever you want to call it. And afterwards, he brings out his Ken What's Up thing, the scepter with the plunger, the cape, all that stuff. And now they're going to have another match at Battleground on the kickoff, and it's a battle for the crown, so whoever wins will be the King of the Ring. And I guess Ken Barrett's winning streak's coming to an end, I have a feeling. Now, this next few segments was awesome. This really was like the highlight, was one of the highlights on Raw. We had John Cena's United States Championship Open Challenge, and I like how he didn't just come out and cut a promo. He said it to the camera, which I thought was cool. He says the United States Championship Open Challenge opens now. And originally Rusev's going to accept it because he claims he never really lost the title because he lost it because of Lana. Now he doesn't have Lana anymore, so he's going to accept the challenge. But Kevin Owens comes out and says that I want the title match tonight because if I beat you tonight, you can just invoke your rematch clause at Battleground and win. Then Cesaro comes out. He just gets right in Cena's face, pretty much saying that he wants the shot, which I thought that was awesome. So everyone starts fighting, saying that they want to have the U.S. title match. Everybody just starts brawling, and it leads to a triple threat match with Cena on commentary, and whoever wins that will become the new number one contender to Cena's title immediately after this match, which really wasn't fair, but whatever. This match was fucking awesome. Kevin Owens hit the cannonball in the corner onto, I think, Rusev. And then eventually later on, Rusev did it to Cesaro, which was awesome. They did the Tower of Doom spot, but Kevin Owens did the superplex to Rusev, and Cesaro came up and did the power bomb, which was awesome. Cesaro hit some sick uppercuts. He hit a sick one on Rusev, which was awesome. Rusev had tried to hit the accolade in on Cesaro, but Kevin Owens hit a super kick on him, and he tried to do it again to Kevin Owens, but Cesaro hit an uppercut on him. Kevin Owens tried to cover Cesaro after doing a move. I forget what move it was, but it was a good move. And Rusev does a diving headbutt to break up the pinfall. Cesaro just Cesaro hit a 6 spin dive over the ropes onto both guys, which was cool. And what else happened? Like, it was really good sequences with everyone just using the finishers on each other. Eventually, Kevin Owens just takes off. He says, "I don't need this. I'm gonna get the title shot this Sunday, anyways. I don't need this." So then it's just down to Cesaro and Rusev, and Rusev dominates Cesaro for a while. He hits a sick apron. He hits a sick spot where Cesaro goes for the apron suplex, where he suplexes him in the ring, but then Rusev counters and he reverses the suplex, and Cesaro landed bad on the apron, which I don't know if that was a botch or not, but whatever, it was awesome. And then Cesaro gets up and hits the uppercuts, and he hits the suplex off. And one spot I forgot to mention earlier is Rusev hit the Alabama Slam on Kevin Owens, which was impressive. And Cesaro starts going off on Rusev. Rusev went to go off the top, and then Cesaro caught him in a crossface. And what made this spot really cool too was you thought Cesaro was gonna win because Cena got up about to um the have the match, like was getting ready for it, and Rusev got out of it, and he got him into the he hit like a spin slam move on Cesaro, and he went for the accolade, but then Cesaro went for the sharpshooter, and Rusev countered that. Rusev went to charge at Cesaro, but Cesaro pulled down the ropes, hit a suicide dive on Cesaro, threw him into the steel post, hit an uppercut into the time barricade in the timekeeper's area, and then he went to go off the top. Rusev threw him off, and then Rusev hit a super kick on him for the win out of nowhere, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and this triple threat match was awesome. Especially when it broke down to a one-on-one match. I thought that was really awesome stuff too. So then eventually now we get Cena defending the U.S. title against Rusev, and Cena just pretty much dominates him here because Rusev's so exhausted. And then eventually Cena goes for the AA, but Rusev counters into the accolade, which was a good counter. I liked that counter. And Kevin Owens comes out, attacks Rusev, and he hits the pump-up powerbomb on Rusev, which was very impressive, and stands tall. Says, "I'm the only one that's going to take the United States title away from Cena." But this whole segment of the show was awesome, and it went for a while too. So I thought this was awesome stuff here. Corporate Kane's backstage, and Seth Rollins asks if the plan's all set, and Kane says that it is, and that was about it. I guess a way to kill time. And then they get a Tough Enough segment where Lita comes out and just promotes Tough Enough, introduces all the cast members, and they introduce someone I didn't see before. So I guess that's going to be a spoiler for this week's episode. So thank you a lot, WWE. But it was cool that they at least promoted it, I guess. But Tough Enough just really isn't clicking with me. And when I do my Tough Enough review, I'm going to talk about that. So, yeah. I mean, it's good. Something isn't clicking with me, and I figured out what it is. And then Stardust returns. He cuts a promo backstage. I think he should have come back as Cody Rhodes, because I think this was the perfect time to do it. He had just had Dusty Rhodes pass away. I think it would have made sense to have him come back as Cody Rhodes, talk about where he's been, cut a big promo, and you can really do something with him there. Because I think the Stardust gimmick is run its course anyway, so that's just how I feel about that. He cuts his promo on Neville pretty much talking about how he really isn't a hero. It was a Stardust promo. It's hard to understand what he says, and he's going to burn Stardust to the ground or something like that. So then we get Neville versus Stardust. Neville tries to shake Stardust's hand, but it doesn't. But Stardust, he shakes his hand, but he attacks him. And this match was really awkward. I think because of the way the commentators reacted, because Michael Cole brought up that this was his first match since Dusty Rhodes passed away, and then the commentators were really quiet. The crowd was really quiet during this match, so this match was really awkward. The match was still fine though. Neville hit a kick on Stardust. He was going for the red arrow, but Stardust got up before he could hit it, so Neville hit a springboard drop kick on him, and then he hits all his move, and then Stardust hit a wicked sit down rock bottom on Neville, and Neville starts to make his comeback. He tries to roll up Stardust, but Stardust counters with the roll up and holds the tights for the win. And that was really it. But I thought it was nice to see Stardust get a victory, and I think this could be like a nice feud here where, because they were referencing this like this was a comic book feud with Neville being the man of gravity and Stardust being like a villain. So I wouldn't mind if they did a feud with this. It would give Neville something to do and Stardust something to do. So I would be fine with this. I really would like to see Stardust go back to being Cody Rhodes, but it is what it is. So then we get the WWE World Heavyweight Championship contract signing. Seth Rollins comes out and talks about how he's sick of seeing the footage played over and over again of Brock Lesnar smashing his Cadillac, which I thought I like that he said that because he's not the only one. And he talks about how he's gonna beat Brock Lesnar surpassed everybody in the WWE except for him, and he talks about how he's gonna beat Brock Lesnar at Battleground. He's gonna take Suplex City. He's gonna burn it to the ground, and then Brock Lesnar comes out. Paul Heyman cuts a promo talking about how when Seth Rollins and disbanded the Shield, when he sold himself, he wanted to get his hands on him. When he sold himself out for the Authority to get the title, the fans wanted to see somebody get his hands on him. When he took the title from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar wants to get his hands on him. And he talks about how Brock Lesnar's just going to beat the crap out of him, German suplex him, just really sells the match, which I liked. It really made me want to see this match. And they sign the contract, and Rollins goes under the table like he's getting a weapon. And Paul Heyman's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Nothing." He's like, "You have something under the table." And Brock Lesnar tips it over. We find out it was an axe handle. And Brock Lesnar puts it back on the table. Rollins grabs it. And Brock Lesnar attacks Kane and Rollins. He starts attacking him. He jumping suplexes Rollins, clotheslines Kane outside the ring, and then he goes to attack Rollins, but Kane pulls him outside the ring, and Lesnar throws Kane into the barricade. Rollins tries to dive on Lesnar, but Lesnar catches him. Lesnar goes for the F5, but Kane attacks him. They start double teaming Lesnar. He gets thrown into the steel post and then into the barricade. And then they start beating the shit out of Lesnar. Kane hits Lesnar twice with the steel steps, once while he's standing up and then another time while he's down. And then Rollins is going to pedigree Lesnar onto the steel steps, but then Lesnar counters. He rams Rollins right into the barricade. He goes to jump off the steel steps onto Kane, but Kane tries to catch him with a choke slam, but Lesnar counters it, hits an F5 on Kane, goes after Rollins, but Rollins escapes through the crowd. And then Lesnar grabs the steps. He hits and Kane's legs on the bottom half of the steps, and Lesnar breaks Kane's leg by hitting Kane's leg with the steps. And then Lesnar leaves. He holds up the title, then he leaves, which I like. And then Rollins comes back to the win, talks about how you've overcome all your obstacles since you come to the WWE except for me. And he says that he doesn't need the Authority to beat Brock Lesnar, and he says that he's going to beat Brock Lesnar at Battleground. And he talks about how Kane's plan didn't work. He said if it didn't work, it was all on you. Talked about how he's a wannabe Hall of Famer, a wannabe WWE all-time great. And then Rollins stomps on Kane's leg and walks off. I really like this segment here. It made Rollins look good. And I think they're going to finally do something with Kane now. This has to be it because Rollins stomped on his leg while he was down. So I think they're going to take Kane off TV and then he'll come back and feud with Rollins, which would be nice. And I really like the way Brock Lesnar looked. He looked really strong. The guy just got hit, which I liked. I really like the way they booked Brock in general. So that's not a surprise. And as for Raw, I thought Raw was really good tonight. Everything was good except for Ken Barrett versus R-Truth. What else wasn't good? Maybe Stardust coming back as Stardust, but that's just a matter of opinion. I think that might be it. Ken Barrett versus R-Truth. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing... Oh, the Tough Enough segment, too. But you'd have to... At least they promoted Tough Enough, so that's something positive. But yeah. Well, there's not a lot to complain about. So I really did enjoy Raw tonight, and it really hype me up to watch Battleground a little bit, because I really wasn't too hyped to watch Battleground until the show. I'm still not immensely hyped, but I'm pretty hyped. But that's pretty much it, guys. And if you want to check out some other channels, you can check out up here my non-wrestling channel where I talk about non-wrestling things called Owen the Talkinator. I'm going to post some videos on there this week. Down below, you can check out my CM Brothers channel where I post both. And then over here, you can check out my friend James the He-Man Hebert's YouTube channel. He has two. This is one of them over here is called James Hebert. You can look up HTTP, whatever it's called, youtube.com/James Hebert Side 95, and he makes custom Titantrons of wrestlers and other music videos like that, and you can check that out. And then over here, like right there, you can check out his Weymouth Youth Wrestling channel. I've appeared on a couple of videos, and he's going to be making a comeback on that channel this fall. Well, he said he was going to do it in the summer, but this fall I will be appearing on that YouTube channel, so you can check that out. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can click down below to subscribe to me right there, and that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.